Let us discuss the topic called issues in the code generation. As we all know that code generation is our last phase, and what is the main responsibility of code generator program? It generates target code. Code generator program will generate target code that we have seen earlier. And some of the issues in code generation are input to the code generator and the target program, what type of target program it generates, what type of input we will give to the code generator, and memory management, how memory management will takes place, and how the instruction selection will also be there, and register allocation, choice of evaluation, approaches to the code generation. All these are the things we are going to discuss now. These are called the issues in the code generation. These are the issues in the code generation program. So, first one is input to the code generator. We all know that what is the input of code generator? Code generator is the last phase, and the output we get from the intermediate representation of the source program. So, that will be the input to the code generator. So, what is the input to the code generator? We will see now. So, the types of intermediate language is postfix notation and quadruples, triples, syntax trees or DAGs. These are the input to the code generator. So, actually what happens? So, we know that code generator program will takes the input from the code optimizer. Anyhow, code optimizer will not make any changes. It will just reduces the lines of code by applying some optimization techniques, and the previous phase to the code optimizer is intermediate code generation. So, the output of the intermediate code generator is, it might convert into postfix notation, it might convert into quadruples, or it might convert into syntax trees or DAGs, directed acyclic graphs. So, that input we will give to the code generator program. And next one is target program. What type of target program we will give? We will see now. The output may be in the form of absolute machine language. What is absolute machine language? A program can be placed in a memory location, and that program can be immediately executed. Such type of program is called absolute machine language program. So, the program which is ready to execute after immediately placing that in the memory location, that is called absolute machine language. Next one is a relocatable machine language. What is this relocatable code? Suppose we might have some subroutines in our program. Each and every subroutine may be compiled separately. So, if all the object files are linked together and loaded for the execution, that will be called as relocatable machine language. So, what is relocatable machine language or relocatable object code? The object codes are object modules of the subroutines. They are linked together and loaded for execution. That will be called as relocated machine language. And our next output is, the next output type is assembly level language. So, it might be, output might be in the form of assembly level language. Later, it requires assembler program to convert that into binary form. So, these are the three possible outputs. These are the three possible outputs that a target generator, target code generator will generates. After that, how the memory management will takes place here. So, mapping the names in the source program. to addresses of the data objects in runtime memory is done cooperatively by the front end and code generator. We will understand this. What happens? See, we know that we have a 3 address code statements, and whatever the variables we are using here, they will have some symbol table, whatever the variables we are using. So, all the variables will be, there will be an entry regarding each and every variable in the symbol table. So, from the symbol table information, a relative address will be determined for the name in the data area. So, how the memory management takes place? First of all, we are maintaining a symbol table for the information that is related to the variables. So, this is about memory management, how we are doing memory management, and we based on the symbol table information. Next one is instruction selection. Let us understand this instruction selection with example. A equal to B plus C and D equal to A plus C, like that we have taken some statements, and now we are converting it into assembly level language. See here, first statement A equal to B plus C can be written as move B comma R naught. So, what happens now? We are just bringing the value of B into the register R naught. Similarly, we will also do this move C comma add C comma R naught. So, we are adding the contents of C to the R naught, and finally we are storing the result into R naught only. And similarly, we are having one more instruction now, D equal to A plus C. So, for that move R naught comma A, we are just moving the contents from R naught into A, and again what we are doing, move A comma R naught. So, here we are moving the contents of R naught into A. Why? Because A equal to B plus C. That is why we are moving the contents of R naught into A. Again, what statement, what is the assembly level language code I have written? Move A comma R naught. So, move R naught comma A means I am moving the contents of R naught to A. Move A comma R means again I am moving the contents from A to R naught. So, finally, what we are doing, add E comma R naught and move R naught comma D. See, all the statements are okay, but the fourth statement is redundant. It is repeated. So, we will eliminate that statement, which is called as instruction selection. So, we are selecting the statement or instruction and we will eliminate them so that repeated statements will not be there. And next one is register allocation. We know that the use of registers, they are often subdivided into two subproblems. It is often subdivided into two subproblems. One is during register allocation, we select the set of variables that will reside in the registers at a point in the program. And during a subsequent register assignment, we pick the specific register that a variable will reside in. So, anyhow, finding an optimal assignment of the registers to the variables is difficult with a single register value, and that is why this problem is called NP complete, which is called NP complete problem. Mathematically, the problem is NP complete. So, during register allocation, we will select the variables that will reside in the registers at a point in the program. This is called register allocation. Using of registers is often subdivided into two subproblems, right? One is register allocation, second one is register assignment, during register assignment. Last one, this is called choice of evaluation. Before one, this is choice of evaluation. What is this choice of evaluation? So, the order in which the computations are performed can affect the efficiency of the target code. So, some computation requires fewer registers and some computations require more registers. Anyhow, the order in which computations are performed can affect the efficiency of the target. That is called choice evaluation. And this is also an NP complete problem. Remember, choice of evaluation, whatever the example we have said, that is also an NP completeness problem. And approaches to the code generation. The most appropriate important criteria for a code generator is that it produces the correct code. The design of code generator should be in such a way that it can be implemented, tested and maintained easily. So, these are the some of the issues of design generator, that is target code generator.